everyone, Kelly, and I have finished my altered configuration stroke printer's tray letter, and here it is. I'm really pleased with it. As you will know if you watch the process videos, I was waiting for a paint spray so that I could spray some trims and flowers and what have you, but it took forever to arrive, so I decided to just crack on with it. It did actually eventually arrive today, but by then it was too late as I'd already pretty much finished it. So I just really used the spray to do a couple of bits on the back. So I'm going to show you the back quickly first. Where I did the masking, if you watch the process videos you'll remember. So I just sprayed the mask and then I let some bits sort of drip down. Not too sure if you can see that too well. Let me just take the camera in a little bit. And then there's some drips and stuff as well. So if we turn back round to the front. Oops. It's a bit of a weird camera setup here today. Right, so if we start at the top here, at the very top I have made some little, and I've used them elsewhere as well, some little books out of book paper, and I've made the covers for those out of the collection. And so that's an open book there. Then I've got this musical, is it a treble clef? Don't quote me on it. I've got a little wild orchid crafts flower, a flower bead from my stash, a flower that I've made, and a butterfly from my stash here. So that's that top corner. Then if we go to these two boxes here, because they're kind of intertwined with each other, I've got a spoon that I bought at a boot fair, which I've added a bit of the paper line into here. I have this trim running right the way around here, and a different trim up here. There's a flower in here from Craft Supplies 1. I absolutely adore these flowers. I have this little metal box here with this little sign that comes out which says love. On the spoon I have a little spool, and the thread from the spool runs right the way into this compartment here. There's a little flower in here. There's some brown cheesecloth behind here. There's some leaf trim in here which I've just cut the leaves off of. In this corner I have some trim which I've cut off, and I've added a bead the same as this side which I've painted black to the centre. Then if we go to this compartment here, don't know why that's not focusing very well, I have some scissors which I've wrapped this trim around it, which comes over here. I have some a paper ruler which I've cut out and sort of twisted up. Behind in there, there's a piece of rosette trim which I've cut off and sprayed, and then there's a bottle from the paper line which has been distressed around the edges. If I go to this top corner here, I have a piece from the paper line from the ephemera pack, some bling across the top. I have a corner piece here. There's the lacing which I talked to you about in one of the process videos. There's some stacked dominoes up in here, big one at the back and some smaller ones further forward. There's another bottle which has been cut from the paper line and distressed. Some flowers coming out here, and then at the ends of this ribbon I've sort of just twisted around in some places, and then there are some beads and some pearls here. Then across here I have a flower trim. Then down this side, on this top bit, I have a trim which I've sprayed, and then some beads over the top which I've painted black and then rubbed in Inca Gold in platinum. Then in this box here I have a spool which I have covered in some trim which runs underneath and round and comes right the way through this box and out to over here. Then right at the back there is a corked vial, and just in front of that is a little metal coat hanger. Then we have some beads at the front here. I have a porcelain flower from Craft Supplies 1, a mask which is from my stash, a Martha Stewart punched butterfly from the paper collection. There's a flower here from Wild Orchid Crafts which I've just rubbed in distress ink. Some flowers here that I've sprayed in Gossamer Gold, and another bead in here and some more beads in here. Then there's this butterfly here which ties all these three trims together. Then in this one, down this side, I have a bit of trim that runs right the way down to the bottom. And for this part of it, I have added some bling to this part. Then in this section at the back we have a typewriter which I've painted and then distressed. We have some chain underneath which also hangs down here. Another Craft Supplies flower here, porcelain one, and another one here. Right in that corner there's a clock which I've distressed. And then in front of that there's a little key from my stash, there's a bead back here, and there is an acrylic flower from Craft Supplies one. Then on this side I have an enamel flower from my stash. Behind there I have a flower charm from my stash, small flower which I've sprayed the ends of. There's a bead in here, another flower there, and another flower back there. Then in this centre bit here I have this little Tim Holtz sign which says Live, which I've added some bling down the side of, and coming off of that I have one of the Tim Holtz clock hands. I'm going to go down this side first. So then in this bottom section here I have added all sorts of things. I have an acrylic flower which has got a flower in the middle which I've sprayed. Another piece of this bow trim which I've cut apart and added a pearl to the centre of. Little teapot, some more from the cutouts from the ephemera pack, and some more bling across there. Then here I've added this really cool lion door knocker, and this is still, this is loose, so this moves around, and I have stuck that on top of a massive diamond gem that I got locally, which I took from my stash. There's another butterfly here. In the back there are some bits of burlap torn up and put in the back there. Then I have this piece here from the ephemera pack which I've cut out, and I've added a bead to up here. On the trim down the side I've just added some small white flat back pearls. And then in here, behind all this there is some burlap. Then behind this piece here there is a big flower in there that I've sprayed. There's a rolled ribbon rose flower back there, I'm not sure how well you can see that. A gem spray from Craft Supplies one. Some little roses that I've sprayed and added some bling to the middle of. There's some more of that trim that I've coloured black back there. This I've fussy cut from the paper line. Some gems, another one of the little roses that I've added a diamond to the centre of. There's a Tim Holtz light bulb. There's a heart charm here which I've just distressed. And then in there I've got another rolled ribbon rose with a centre that I've put in, a flat back pearl. And then there's a flower back there as well. Then if I come back up to this side, to this one, I have this hanging chandelier here, and this actually hangs and this moves and this turns, so that's cool. So I've added another one of those Martha Stewart butterflies on there. I actually made this from some flat wooden veneers that I bought from Hobbycraft, and I got the idea from someone, but I can't for the life of me remember who it was. So if it was you, please do let me know so that I can make sure that I give you a shout out to credit you for this. They did it with 4 of these, I think, but I actually made it out of 6. And that's hanging from some chain from the compartment above. I have this lady here from the ephemera pack, and I've added some bling to the lady. I've added a clock hand here, which I've put a little bead in the centre of. Behind the chandelier, there is a flourish, and there's a cameo. And then on this little shelf, I've made some more of those books that I started with, and there's some upside down and closed and open books on there. Have a rolled ribbon flower at the back, which I've rolled paper flower at the back, which I've sprayed. A charm flower here, which I've painted and distressed. Some little beads on here, and the little nail polish thing in here. Then if I go to, the last 2 compartments at the bottom here. To this side, I have a key, which I've distressed, and the lock to go with the keys over here. I made this little dress form, 3D dress form from the paper line, and I have wrapped some trim and some bling around that. Then I have a Prima flower from my stash, which I've added the metal filigree to the centre of, which I've sort of rolled and distressed, and a little tiny butterfly up here. I have this wooden butterfly here from Kaiser Craft, which I painted in white and then used my new spray on, which arrived today, which is a glimmer mist. This white flower here has got these dangly bits already attached, so I just distressed those. Then we have some black trim here with some black pearl beads, and a piece of fussy cut from the paper line, and a chest piece sticking out from there. So there's quite a lot going on here, as you can see. I think I've managed to get all of it. Do please stay tuned for the still photos, and also if you're still watching, which I hope you are and you haven't switched off already, The next video I will upload, I'll imagine, will be for my giveaway, my challenge giveaway, because I am nearly at 500 subscribers. Yay! As soon as I hit 500, that challenge giveaway video is going up. So thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye!